Hi, how's everyone out there doing? I'm Amy Hamilton. I'm here with the amazing Mel Kelly, author of two internationally best-selling books, one of which is all about dating disasters in Germany. And I was like, Mel, dating disasters are not limited to the Irish or people in Germany or just you. Dating disasters are international.
Thank you so much, Amy, for the lovely introduction. And I am honored to be here today with the best-selling author of these two best-selling books, The Project Manager and The Consummate Communicator. And I can tell you, bring these skills together with the skills you learned from my book, and your dating life will be a disaster too. So, welcome to the show.
And Mel, we're talking about a super sensitive topic today. One of those topics that's like a landmine in the world of dating. And
Yes.
I don't think there is any good advice. So all we can do is give bad advice on this topic. And this is the topic of when to bring up exes and when to bring up previous dates.
Yes. Yes.
So I was sharing with you that recently I had a date and they literally, it was a first date, and then this person just told me how bad their date was the previous night. I thought that was a bit too soon, but what are your thoughts?
Oh, I think this is fantastic. This is a very, very good approach, because what that shows is that you're honest up front, very transparent, and very positive. And that obviously the previous date is no competition to you as the date that on that particular night. I mean, it's obviously a very effective strategy.
I should have had you there to coach me because I did not take it in this way whatsoever. So you're saying kudos on you. Talk
Kudos on
about the
you.
bad date you had the night before to the date you have tonight.
Absolutely. It's like when you start bitching about your ex-girlfriends. I mean, it's the best way to do it. Oh, sorry, can't use that word. That's a curse word in America, is it? Oh
That's
my
a curse
goodness.
word in America. That's
Oh,
okay.
it's
We're
a
gonna
curse word.
somehow international landmines of cursing is gonna be like a whole
Okay.
different show.
Oh my goodness. There was a B word we used a few weeks ago. That's a curse word here. It's not a curse word in
I
America.
know.
It's
I didn't even
amazing.
know that was a curse word. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
There you go. Yes, yes. Anyway,
Ooh.
so yes, the most important thing is when your potential new partner, the most important thing is just rip apart your previous partners and all the things they did wrong. This is this really makes the best impression, because they say this person is straight talker, straightforward, and we know what to expect from this person.
No, I mean, looking at it in that light, I probably should call that guy up and go on a second date.
There you
It
go.
might be too
Exactly.
long. Yeah,
You
but
just never know. You just never know. I mean, what is the problem with complaining about your previous date exes? What is the problem with that, Amy? Tell me. Why is that a problem for you?
so I always try to look at any time I've been on a date or a relationship as kind of what are the lessons that I learned and how did I grow from it to become a more positive person.
Oh,
So
it's beautiful. This is like your book. Lessons learned.
no, I
Okay.
think it's important though. So like when people ask me about, I was married for a long time.
Okay.
And like what did you get out of this relationship? And I'm like, without my ex-husband, I would not have my amazing sister-in-law and stepdaughter who I'm very close with. And so I look at that relationship, and that's kind of what I really gained from it, was these amazing relationships that the universe was able to connect me through.
Okay.
You're not making fun of me on this. I don't know what to do with that, Mel. It's like, is he serious? What's he gonna do? Is there a Jack in the
Well,
Box?
yeah, but let's go back to, you're on a date, and I mean, is it is it bad? Like, so if you're on a date on a Friday night with somebody, can you admit that you were on a date with somebody else on Thursday night? I mean, is this good? Is this bad? Is it better not to talk about it? Or you say, well, it's Friday, so it's my fifth date with the fifth different person this week. Is it better to say
That's
that?
a lot of dating.
Yeah,
Uh,
it
I think
is. Yeah, but it,
I mean,
it,
I think
it
that first dates are kind of like you should just get to know that person.
like every date
And
is like a snowflake. Every first date is special, like that special in a snowflake that is not possible to reproduce anywhere else.
I'm so gonna like every first date is like a snowflake. Mel, that was really profound from
Like
you.
that,
Like,
like a
yeah,
special
yeah.
snowflake, like a special snowflake.
Yeah, I think that should be like a meme. I think that there's every first date's like a special snowflake. Like I see that like going
You
on a
mean
t-shirt.
you can't have like every first date you put them in the cookie cutter. This is just, oh Jesus, you're running through the motions yet again. Every date has to be like a special snowflake
Yeah, so
moment.
that guy I was telling you about in a previous
Okay.
episode who like always took his first dates to the same restaurant. Like, yeah, don't take take people to new restaurants and discover new
Okay.
food together with your first
So
dates.
that special snowflake doesn't need to hear about the other special snowflakes, is what you're saying.
I think that for a first date, it should be focused on the person you're with.
Okay.
And then I think it's okay, like, as an older, more mature person to say, oh, like, have you been married? And, the kind of high level concept stuff. Do you have kids?
Okay.
That's
Okay.
that's some good
That's okay.
questions.
That's okay. But you can't say, "Oh, this ex partner, I hate his guts or hate her guts because of this, and this,"
Yeah, and then I took gasoline and set the car on fire. Like, yeah, like
because they deserved it.
that's always a bit like, okay, thank you for sharing this. I saw that movie. I don't need to go there.
What is the worst revenge or worst story you've heard on a first date about an ex?
So I had one person who told me that about one of their exes that they had
They burnt the house down. They killed the dog. They
no, they had actually, this is real, like real
they got the
life.
rabbit. They put the rabbit in the mixer. No.
Did the ex sign them up unbeknownst to themselves for a sex addict class through their work email. So I thought that was pretty clever. I was like, oh, like that's some serious revenge, right? Like
That's
I
it.
was like,
That's the okay. And that was the person you were dating did that, or that he was on the receiving end of that?
he was on the receiving end of that from a
Okay,
woman.
okay. Then it's kind of humorous because if he did that, then I mean that's
Yeah, yeah, there would be no second date. But he was telling me about this, and I was like, so are you like?
see,
Like,
well, that's creating suspense. That's creating suspense and intrigue.
but I think that was some pretty good revenge.
That's
And
pretty good
another
revenge.
one that I know from a
He
friend of
wasn't a sex
mine,
addict, was he? Did he? He wasn't a sex addict.
she just signed him up for a
No,
class.
no. So he wasn't a sex addict. Did you get to a second date with this person, particular person?
Yeah, we dated for a while.
Okay, so the bad news didn't do the damage.
Well, I mean, to me, it was. He didn't tell me this on. Maybe he told me on the first date, but it was like very early dating on. He told me about
Okay,
this woman had done
okay,
this to him,
that's very
and
good.
so I thought that was a good one. Another one that I thought was like very just clever and well done was, and this is wrong.
It
And
sounds
we
good.
we
Oh, you
discussed
have
it.
my interest. You have my interest.
We
Tell me.
discussed this, like we were young once, right? So remember in the 90s, like the part kind of precursor to online dating was people would put like kind of personal ads out, like on like Craigslist
Newspaper
and
stuff.
things like
Yeah,
that.
newspapers and stuff like that. Yes.
Yeah. So my friend put what she then, not being a fan of her ex anymore, wanted in his dates. I took out a personal ad for him.
Oh, that's terrible. That's so funny, but it's terrible.
Yeah.
What happened? Did many people respond and ring him and call him and whatever? Or
He didn't know why all these women were like randomly calling him and like trying to.
and how did he do it with these women? What did he have to do with them? Did you find out what happened?
I'm not sure, to be honest, but
That
it
is
was just
funny
very
though.
funny because she's very like me, like a very independent woman, and she wrote it up like looking for Susie homemaker to stay home and darn my socks and have dinner waiting on the table, have my slippers waiting at the door when I come home. And
And there's many women who responded to that.
so, yeah, he actually got responses to that. I was like,
That's fantastic. My goodness. In this day and age, wow, it's incredible.
well, it was the 90s.
Yeah, the 90s not that long ago.
It seems like it.
Well, I suppose it's nearly what 91. Yeah, 91. Well, yeah, it is. It's 30 years ago, actually, isn't it? Now that we think about it, yeah, it is a while ago.
Yeah, I don't know whether we want to go back to but the question goes into, I mean, at some point you have to be a little bit honest. I mean, you should always be a little bit honest, but at some point, like
Yeah,
as you pull back the
don't
layers
overdo
of
the honesty. Don't
onions,
overdo the honesty.
you do have to, like, it'd be like weird to just go, oh yeah, I happen to be married for like 15 years. Like, it's gonna come up eventually, right? like I would think that. Because
Yeah.
here's another thing I don't know what to do. So on the dating profiles, which we talked about the other week,
Okay.
they ask, like, do you have kids?
Okay.
And I always put no.
Yeah.
But then I have my stepdaughter that I'm super close with. And
Yeah.
then that like creates some weirdness. And people are like, well, you said you didn't have kids. I'm like, well, I don't have kids. Somebody else had a kid. I just take it in every once in a while, like a stray puppy. And
Does your stepdaughter watch this show?
yes, yes.
Hello to
She
the stray.
actually has, she's
Hello
actually
to
given me material for it.
to your stray puppy. Okay.
No, she'll appreciate that. But I mean, I didn't like I don't ever want to demean like what actual real parents do. Like they raise these kids, from the
Yeah.
time that they're born and do all these things. Like she's got a wonderful mother who, raised her and did the best for her. And, she has, my former spouse and everything. So, she has parents. I'm just more like a cool aunt kind of figure sometimes.
Okay.
And I wouldn't want to take on like and say like I'm a parent, but at the same time, there's no like, and I still keep in touch with my ex's kids because you divorced the ex and not the family. Like, where's that like box, right? And this goes into like how do you bring these topics up? How does this come into the conversations? And randomly they're there at the holiday dinner when you do the meet the family.
Okay, so I take it anyway. So when we talk about the exes, you don't talk about the exes. Say, I hate that guy or I hate that girl. They broke my heart. I thought I was going to
Oh,
be
you
with
don't think
them
that's
for.
effective? I was going to do that.
I thought we were together forever, and he was cheating on me or she was cheating on me. How dare they? And I'm still angry and bitter. But it's nice to meet you. So you wouldn't recommend that as an approach?
Oh no, I'm totally. I think that's what you should do.
Because I think it's very attractive, very important way of attracting people is to be angry and bitter. Anger and bitterness are some very effective techniques on a first date.
I mean, through the whole relationship, it works. Not just
Exactly.
the first technique.
Exactly. Say, my ex used to do this better than you. God damn it.
Oh yeah. So I think honestly though, I mean it should gradually come up through time and not just be like a slam in your face.
Okay. So just gently, not too much anger, not too much bitterness, not too much comparison.
I
Okay.
think that's the important thing too is don't I recently told a guy I feel like he was holding me accountable for the ghosts of girlfriends past.
Yeah, but it is your fault. You're a girl. You're responsible for all the girls that broke his heart. God damn it.
Right. And so I was like, like this wasn't me. Like I didn't do this. Like whoever did this to you isn't me. But I thought it was a very effective way of communicating because it was somewhat lighthearted. And he actually laughed about it and it did improve things.
Okay.
And one of my other friends said that when her current partner brings up his partner who he was married to for like a couple decades and has 2 adult children with, that when they go out, she'll be like, look, this relationship needs between the two of us, and you need to get your ex out of the car. And and I think that's a very effective metaphor. Like we were talking
That's a
about
good one.
ineffective metaphors of car crashes and burning up at holidays, but I think the whole metaphor of get the ex out of the car with us is profound because too often we take our ex with us into our next relationship.
Oh, that's profound. That's deep. Get the ex
Mel, I
out of
think
the
it's the
car.
most seriousness that we can have. But you can just take her and push her. Like it's a metaphor. So you can
Speed up,
be like,
speed up the car, and then push them out.
and then run them over and back over and run over. So I think that this is a really important topic, though.
Very good. We've been true to our top. We've been true to our theme is to give actually the most disastrous dating advice you can possibly get.
So, Mal, we're coming to the close of this episode. Next episode, what I want to start talking about is we're going to be ramping up. And I don't know if this is a big deal. I know it's becoming a bigger deal internationally, but definitely a big deal in America. Is we're going to talk about should you and at what point do you do a couple's Halloween costumes and other kind of coupleness things? Because, like you'll go to some place and people be like, I'm with her, I'm with him shirts. We're going to talk about this the next time. Do you get the matching pajamagrams? All these kinds of things. So what we're going to talk about is we're approaching the holidays. We got to start getting some holiday ideas out there. and we're just going to talk about Halloween in general, and it's going to be a great time. I've had so many friends who've met over Halloween parties, so maybe it's
Great.
also a time to just go out there and meet some people and mingle. So if you're not with someone, you can tune in. If you are with someone, you can decide, do you go with it little kind of cutesy couple outfit together, and how does all this work?
Yeah, Joe, tune in. We will give you a plan. We will give you a plan for how
Yep.
you can.
And if you want to read all about Mel's top tips, please check it out, because bad dating is not just for Mel, it's for everyone.
Bad dating is international.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.